Yeah, buddy, what is up? Welcome to Duct Tape Dynasty. I am the Duct Tape Dude.
I'm the dude.
And this is what, week 11. Holy cow, week 11 already of the podcast, broadcast, NFL, what have you, whatever we want to. We still haven't even, do we have a name for this show? We should give a prize away to whoever can actually name this show. We don't have a name, I don't think. It's a podcast broadcast. That's what I call it. But anyway, we're excited you're all here. It should be a good show tonight. Looks like we could have a good time depending upon what our co-hosts do or don't do tonight. So, yeah, little cat's out of the bag there. Was going to surprise y'all because I didn't have a co-host last time. So this time I'm bringing on two. But before we get there, though, please do us a favor. If you're new here, minimize that screen and hit that subscribe button for us. That's the biggest thing you could do for us. It's, well, let me give you even if you haven't seen our show before and whatever, you have no idea what we are. Here's a reason to subscribe, okay? We are giving away if we hit 300 subscribers by the end of the NFL season, so by the end of the Super Bowl, February, whatever, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 2nd, I don't know what date the Super Bowl is, but whenever that's over, if we're at 300 subs, we're going to give away a signed Marv Fleming. That is a Super Bowl I champion. Marv Fleming is a Super Bowl I champion. He has signed this jersey. We are giving it away if we can just hit 300 subs. And I tell you what, if you don't believe it, here it is, okay? Right here. So, bam. There's the signature. There's Super Bowl I champ, whatever. There's the JSA authentication stuff. Legit. It's there. It's bagged up. It's ready to go, and it could be yours just for subscribing here. In fact, tonight we may even give away some jerseys. We got a whole box full of them down here, and we may do a giveaway tonight, depending upon who's out there. If you want to be entered for that giveaway and let us know that you are new here or whatever, just in the comments, just what should we have to say? Have sign me up. How about that? We'll go with sign me up. Just put sign me up in the comments, and we will know you'll be entered to possibly win a jersey tonight. That's exciting. But anyway, you keep hearing me say we. You only see me. So let's bring them on. Our co-host for the evening. There's two of them. Like I said, there is Dave up on top, so to speak, and Dan on the bottom,
Hello.
not so to speak.
Yeah, what? Got a little weird. Really?
Yeah, it got a little weird, huh? Now it got weird, Dave? Not during the pregame? Not at all?
It's just an elephant.
Jesus.
It's just
Oh,
an elephant.
my Lord. So,
What you guys are worried about? Andrew, you can't win.
For those who know Dave, Dan got, well, let's just say full exposure to Dave before the show. So sorry about it, but now you know who you're dealing with. Let's start with Dave then and ask, dude, how's your week been thus far? Didn't you just get off a train like this morning at like 3 a.m. or something? What have you been doing today?
What time did I get off? I don't know. I got off like around noon or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But yeah, I worked all night on a train. You know, come home and you do all this stuff and then sleep and go back and do it again.
You're projected to go out in like a few more hours, right? Have you slept at all?
Oh, yeah.
Nope,
haven't slept. Projected to go out 3 a.m.
Attaboy. So we need to hurry through this show and get you back to bed. We could see you're already in your room, lights out, ready to go to bed, dude. So, all right. Well, if you need to doze off and the show is boring enough, please do. Just don't forget, Dave, to type in the comments, sign me up, even though you can't win. But Dan, who cares about Dave? How the heck are you, man? A military man himself. Is this not Veterans Week, right? Thank you for
we get a whole week now? All
right. Veterans Day week. How about that?
All right.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna make it a month next year.
Let's do the what do they call it? Pandering. Thank you for your service, Daniel. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Whatever.
You make it worth it.
Yeah, well, I taught you
Hey,
everything
thank
you
you
know.
both.
Hey, no thanks to you, Dave.
Yeah. That tattoo on the back of my leg was too big.
I'm just kidding, man. Yeah. Anyway, so Dan, how was your week, dude? Seriously, what's you got anything going on? Anything exciting out there in Ohio?
Well, one exciting thing, I didn't know this was going to happen, but so I already told y'all that I got picked up to go back to Texas Tech for the ROTC gig.
Yes.
But what I didn't know had to happen was I had to get approval by the university. So I just found out today I got a memo signed by the university president that he approved my hire there. So I was like, oh, well, look at that. So
all right.
I thought I was already hired, but now I'm doubly hired. So anyway, so that was good news today.
Congrats
so
on.
I thought it was official, but now it is.
Congrats on officially being official.
Yeah.
Dude, you live in Ohio?
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's terrible. What do you do there?
I wouldn't say
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
The coolest thing from Ohio is probably got to be Slipknot.
Moving along.
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle is from Ohio. So,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Listen, never mind.
Yep, just moving on. Moving on. Oh, jeez. Oh, my
Hey, look at the comments already.
Holy cow.
He's already nude. So
What? What's happening?
that's
Somebody's
what it says.
nude in the comments? I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I didn't get that picture.
Anyway, okay. Geez, I'm lost now. So let's just get to the news, right?
Yeah,
all right, let's check in on Caleb Williams. We checked in earlier this year as he's about to start. You know, he was number 1 pick in the draft. Was projected to be the savior of the Bears that have been abysmal for many, many years. It's been since Jay Cutler, I think, since they were okay. I wouldn't say they were great when they were with Jay Cutler, but at least they were better than they are now. Anyway, so Caleb, if you don't know, when his punter got picked up to come to the team, he sent him a text message and said, "Hey, bruh, you're not going to need to punt much here." or you're not going to punt too much here. That's what he said. And so as we check in on the progress and how he's doing with not punting too much, Caleb Williams has 2,021 yards of total offense for the team through 10 weeks, and they have punted 2,153 yards.
Wow.
So
that's incredible.
Caleb's crystal ball is not looking too good. Not looking too good. Dan, you got anything to say about old Caleb Williams? I know you were high on the horse. You drafted him number 2 overall. So anything on Caleb Williams?
Did I know? I
Dude,
thought
doesn't Josh have Caleb Williams?
Shut up, Dave. I'm going to drop
Dan's
him
like,
after this.
You got him on my team?
I thought this segment was how awesome the punter is, not how poor Caleb's doing,
exactly.
so.
That's what it is. Yes, it's not about Caleb.
Yeah. I don't know. It just never works out too often when NFL players have, kind of that level of bravado. I'm trying to remember the overtime game where the quarterback calls the coin toss and, what does he say? Heads, and we're going to win. We want the ball and we're going to win. And then, was that the Chargers?
Probably. It was probably Ryan Leaf, who I'm waiting. The only reason I keep checking in on Caleb Williams is I'm just waiting for somebody to outdo Ryan Leaf in the NFL as for the worst draft pick of all time. Although Caleb Williams has far surpassed anything Ryan Leaf ever did. So
going to be pretty rough.
So it'll be a while. It'll be a while.
Old Sportsnik there says the Bears fired their offensive coordinator.
Yeah, the Bears continue to fire everybody except Matt Eberflus. But whatever. Slipknot's from Iowa?
Yeah, I messed up there. From
Way to go.
Ohio. I mean,
it's all the same.
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's all whatever. Anyway, so yeah, Caleb Williams not having the best rookie year, but then again, he is with the Bears. And let's be honest, number 1 picks don't tend to go to the greatest teams. So we'll give him a few years, but if he has a sophomore slump, as most quarterbacks do, it's going to be really rough next year. So look out for the Bears. Let's move on to some actual good quarterbacks, Tom Brady and the second coming, as many have said. Dan, I think, agrees with that because he is Texas Tech quarterback.
Oh, is he? That's
alum.
right. I forgot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Patrick Mahomes.
Weird.
What are you gonna do?
Anyway, looking so far through 10 weeks of the season in which both of these boys were and are perfect at 9-0, and I don't know if the Patriots were 9-0 or 10-0 at this point. I can't remember when their bye week was that year, but through 10 weeks of the season, look at the stats here. So the overall yardage is the percentage of completion. I mean, Tom Brady almost at 75%. That's just impressive, but Patrick Mahomes at almost 70. That's not bad either. This is what blew me away, though. The touchdowns, dude. Tom Brady, through 10 weeks of the season, had 38 touchdowns. Are you kidding me?
That's a lot.
That's
Now,
crazy.
I know they had Wes Welker, and that was that was the year that Wes Welker broke out as far as the over the middle threat, right? Didn't Bill Belichick kind of redefine him there in New England and just put him in the slot, and he just
False. Wes Welker redefined the Patriots offense.
That's what I said. That's
Welker was
exactly what I
always,
said. Have you been listening?
By the way, where did Wes Welker go to school?
Who cares? He went to the Chargers.
Texas motherfucking Tech is where I
In fact, you went to school with him. You were his roommate, right?
That's right. We were classmates. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
along with
classmates.
25,000 other undergrads.
Yeah. So, but I do remember you telling me, like, it was just like he was your primary
when your
punt
Chargers
returner
cut
guy.
him,
Oh,
he was a punt returner and a slot receiver. Did not get drafted after being a 4-year starter. Chargers very wisely picked him up, and then like 2 weeks later cut him in preseason, and he went.
No.
The
He
Dolphins.
made the team. He made the team, and then they cut him after like 2 weeks.
Oh,
Because
yeah?
I remember him
Wow.
telling the story. He's like, I made the roster, and then they like 2 weeks later they cut me. I thought like I was. And he actually had a good game. But that's what the Chargers do. They did that with Drew Brees. Remember that? I mean, granted, there was an injury, but then he went on to win a Super Bowl. Anyway. Sorry,
Well, you
boys.
got some Sonic there or what?
Yeah, I had to take a drink. I'm just blabbing my
what?
mouth off.
Little cherry
I like
lime.
how we went from a Brady Mahomes segment to how the Chargers suck. I bet this is like a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. We can always link a topic back to how the Chargers
I don't
suck,
think
so.
we need 6 degrees, though. It's like, oh, we're talking about the NFL. The Chargers suck. Okay.
Now moving on.
Yeah. So,
Dude, so I think I know Dan's answer on this, but do you think Patrick Mahomes is as good as Tom Brady?
no. Well,
Dan? I mean, he's definitely the new Tom Brady. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But Tom Brady's like the Wayne Gretzky. Like nobody's gonna touch him. Like look at those stats: 4 interceptions compared to 9.
he's got
You
half the
know,
interceptions.
I would say that this season is a kind of a down year for Mahomes' production.
Definitely.
And that's funny that
For
a
sure.
down year for his production equals so far undefeated.
And
I
Kelsey's
guess
production. I don't know
I
how
guess
the
it helps
Chiefs are
to have
pulling it off.
good special teams blocking punts or field goals there at the end of games.
Yeah,
know,
man. There were
I
some
don't-
great games this week. Go ahead. Sorry, Dave.
No, you're good. I was just going to go on to say I don't think they're going to go undefeated. I mean, they've had some close games this year that they shouldn't have. And like Dan was saying, all their production being down and everything, I'm kind of surprised they're still undefeated right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, last week, as Dan, and we'll
Denver?
talk about
What the
as
fuck?
Dan alluded to. That's what I was gonna say, but then I just moved on to. Anyway, as Dan alluded to, I mean, this week it came down to the field goal. Let's be honest, field goal usually is going to be good in the NFL unless it's a 68-yarder or whatever. Anyway, it was a field goal to win it, but it got blocked. I mean, so they've come close, like you said, Dave, but they haven't been beat yet.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, this next one, our news 3, as I have them named here, news 1, 2, 3, is actually an announcement, and it is that DTD is finally going on the road, boys. Last year we talked about it. We were going to do a tailgate takeover, and it just didn't work out. We were going to go to Denver, and we still need to probably make one of those happen maybe next season. We'll see how this show is going next season. if we even have a show then, if we're not kicked off the internet by then. But DTD is going on the road next week, man. I will be in Bozeman because it is Cat Grizz, which is
Who's that now?
Cat Grizz. There it is. Hey,
So
thanks,
gay.
Dave. Shut up. Anyway, yeah, and I'm so far behind on the comment. You guys are gonna have to do the on a roll when we get there because I'm gonna have to just catch up on these comments. But anyway, yeah. So next week I'm gonna go out to Bozeman for the rivalry game. That's the excuse. Really, I've got a kid that's going to school out there, so it's an excuse to go see him. Rivalry game is happening, so I'm like, hey, let's take the equipment. We'll do a few shows out there. We might do as many as 3. So the plan is I get there on Thursday, hopefully can get everything set up in time and do this show. So yeah, by the way, for all our pickers, get your stuff in early, please, next week, because I'm going to have to, it's going to be a tough turnaround. Anyway, but then in either the next day or the day after, so Friday or Saturday, Andrew, I can't remember what day. I think we're actually doing it on Saturday, is the Cat Cast. The Cat Cast. There it is. Yeah. And then actually the F1, which I'm a big fan of F1, and this whole thing started with kind of F1 watch-alongs. The Vegas Grand Prix is this weekend, or well, next weekend.
Grand Prix.
The Grand Prix. You have to say it that way. It's a rule in F1. Otherwise, they take your account. You can't watch anymore. Anyway, so it's a little snooty, but whatever. But anyway, the Vegas Grand Prix is that weekend, and it starts at midnight midnight Central on Saturday night. So it's after the Cat Grizz game. So depending upon the state of my being, hopefully I can come out and do a watch along. And yeah. So anyway, hopefully.
He's going to be crying during the whole watch along because the cats get just whipped. just tears are running down his face.
It's purring. So stupid. Anyway. Let's move on and get the actual show started, shall we? Let's do the honor roll. Who's got number 1? You taking number 1, Dave? You got it?
Yeah, dude. I'll do them.
All right, here you go. I'm going to catch up on some comments. You go. Just tell me when I need to switch slides. Go.
Yeah, no worries. So, number 1 on a roll, a guy that's been here numerous times, well-deserved, Mr. Lamar Jackson, going 25 for 33, 290 yards, 4 tutties, and a rating of 141.4. Sick picture, by the way, that you posted. I like that helmet on there.
Yeah.
Mr. Lamar Jackson, you, sir, are on a roll.
Yeah, no kidding. Sorry,
All
I got to
season
interject
long.
on that. That look that they pulled out for last week's games with this new helmet, that is sick. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Dan, you're up, buddy. Go.
All righty. Also somebody that has been here multiple times this season, Mr. Joseph Burrow, 34-56, 428 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 108.3 rating. And although it wasn't from this last week, I will add that Mr. Joe Burrow is leading the league in yards and only a mere 70-something yards ahead of the first guy on the list, Lamar Jackson. So, but Joe Burrow, you, sir, are on a roll.
Definitely.
All right,
Definitely, yeah. Next guy, Joe Burrow's teammate there, Mr. Jamar Chase, 11 receptions for 264 yards. Bringing in 2 of them, 24 yards average a catch. That's pretty good. Jamar Chase, sir, you are on a roll.
There it is. And lastly,
and last but not least, Mr. Marquez Valdez-Scantling from the New Orleans Saints, 3 receptions for 109 yards. 2 of those 3 were for touchdown, with a long being 67 yards. you, sir, Mr. MVS, are on a roll.
Absolutely. And there they are, all of them. And if you don't
In their
know,
glory.
if you don't know, the winner of this is announced at the end of the show. So it's like the hook, right? There it is. Boy, are you intrigued. Who won? But anyway, the big thing about it is you guys actually decide who wins because it's done via poll on Instagram, of which we'll give you all the links for that and all that at the end too. So we will find out who you guys voted as the honor roll player of the week for last week, week 10, at the end of the show. So there's our honorees. Or our potentials or our nominees. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
There it is.
And
last time Joe was on a roll, wasn't Jamar with him?
Yeah, probably. I mean, they're kind of the threat there in
and
Cincy.
Both games they're coming off losses, but just huge days.
Yeah.
Huge days.
Yeah, and that's when I first started doing the honor roll thing, I was trying to just be a stat leader thing, and then I was like, why am I doing that? Like, anybody can look that up. Let's just have it our way, and that's where I was kind of like, okay, well, I don't care if they win or lose. I don't care if it's an actual player. It could be a whole team. It could be a coach. But yeah, so even though they lost, I mean, you can't deny, holy cow, what days,
Yeah.
and
absolutely.
granted they're teammates. So yeah, when one goes off, usually the other goes off because that's the number one threat is Joe to Jamar. So anyway, there you go. There's our honor roll nominees. And with that, let's get to the old games of the week so that we can move through this, get to the new games of the week, and then eventually get to the game of today. Which as I went through, by the way, the comments real quick, the main theme I saw has been Kelsey's, as we talked about, Kelsey's lack of production this year. And I think really, and I haven't paid much attention to it because I'm watching on TV. And of course they don't show it. They show where the ball goes. But I think Kelsey's being employed mainly as a decoy, because he's such a threat. And then every once in a while, it's like they throw it to him and he does the Kelsey thing. And it's like, oh yeah, we still got to double this guy. We still got to pay attention to this dude because he's
and also Taylor Swift is getting a lot of the screen time instead of him on the field. So
yeah, do you want them to show Taylor Swift or Travis Kelce being a decoy?
Yeah.
You choose.
Taylor Swift's not bad.
Anyway.
By the way, I forgot to throw out a nominee for on the roll, so I'm just going to unilaterally say this is an honorable mention.
Let's do it.
So, did you see the Minnesota Vikings defender Cam Bynum and his ray gun impersonation out there? The Australian breakdancer in the Olympics.
That scored a 0.
Nailed it. That's right. Oh man, awesome effort out there. He absolutely nailed it. I'm just wondering how long he had been waiting to bust that one out. So.
That was so good too. That was so good. That was awesome. So yeah. That would have been a good nominee. Dang it, Dan. I blame you.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Anyway, nice honorable mention. That's a good one. Anyway, let's get to the games that were and the how it broke down. So the breakdown is, and dang it, I should have pulled this thing out.
Should have.
Because the stupid scroll is never where I intend it to be when I need it to be. And so I can't read the scroll. It's just not in time. So last week, the breakdown was a bunch of us at 10-4. It was Sierra, the Ag Man, myself, and Wally, 10-4. Then you got Dave and Kevin at 9-5. Dan, what happened?
Shut your mouth.
You were 8-6. Yeah, so that's tough.
Just some,
Dan had a rough week. Dan had a rough week.
Yeah,
So
picked the Houston Texans as a flyer, and I thought I made the best pick, and all the rest of you are a bunch of idiots. And then the second half happened, and the Houston Texans scored 0 points and lost the last-second field goal. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it was like capping off. It started with Thursday night's game, which came to it was a 1-point difference because they went for 2 and didn't make it. They went for the win. Yeah. And so that's how that one ended. And then, you had the Kansas City game or whatever. Yeah.
And the Panthers won.
Yeah. Which Wally and Agman They got the flyer on that one. Kevin got the flyer. Kevin is like the flyer queen. So it was an opportunity. I had to take it.
It rolled right together.
He's got a pink check mark. Anyway, but he nails the flyers, so to speak. He does well with the Flyers. So although he didn't get the Bengals, he almost did. But he did get New England. Everybody else taking the Bears there.
You and Sarah got the Steelers there.
We did.
The Commanders. So.
And Sierra would have had the outright, except she picked the Texans instead of the Chargers. So that's where I finally caught back up.
Titans.
Sorry. I said Texans? Yeah, Titans.
You did.
Sorry to disrespect one of your Texas teams there, Dano. So anyway, that's the way it broke down. Let's check in on how it breaks down with the overall. Which let me find that. Here's where we are as far as the season standings. As you can see, the lines are all moving in the right direction with the exception of Dan. Dan's headed the wrong way. Dan is the white line there. You see him taking a dive there at the end. And
it looks like Dave. It looked like you stopped playing like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it is.
You covered up by Kevin.
Yeah. I was sleeping.
He's just been overshadowed by Kevin. Yeah. But
he's lulling us into a false sense of security.
But look at that. I mean, Dave is on, this is what concerns me. This Dave is on the projection that Bo was on last year. So Bo started off and he was the bottom of the barrel. And I think he was actually the bottom from the start. And he was down there like through, as you see Dave there. Dave's the yellow line. You see Dave way down there by the ball, the only man by the ball. Anyway, but then he just started climbing, and then Bo never stopped climbing, dude. And he ended up winning the whole thing. So,
and I still have my guest pick protocol too.
You do. A lot of you guys do. I think Andrew and myself.
So maybe Bo might have to be getting a call here.
Yeah. Maybe. So, and somebody asked me if we can have one of the other pickers make our picks for us, and I can't remember what I said then, but I will say yes, I'll allow that. Although
screw that, dude. That'd be like, yeah, you just pick this guy, this guy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I hope somebody asked me to make their picks. You're gonna do
especially
real
if it's a close race. Absolutely, I'll hook you up.
Yeah. Anyway, Flyer Queen hockey show coming soon. That's right, we do have a hockey show. Dave is our hockey aficionado, and Kevin in the comments there, old Sportniks, is actually our other hockey guy now. We have two real hockey guys. I was a pretend hockey guy. I played roller hockey. It was intense, man.
Dude, but it was a blast. I just talked to Kevin the other day.
Awesome place.
And told him my podcast stuff wasn't set up, and I just got it set up today. So yeah, Kevin, we'll definitely have to work on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Dan, what were you saying though?
No idea.
Okay, good. Let's move on to the next week's games or this week's games then, shall we? So the breakdown, my apologies. Jeez, let's talk about who's first, second, third, because I'm in second. That means I'm on the podium, but Sierra's in first. 106-46. I'm just a game behind at 105-47. Then you got the Agman, I believe, one game behind me. And then Dan's right back there as well, tied with the Walbert at 99-53, about to break the 100 mark. And then you've got Dave and Kevin at 95, I believe, and 57. But like I said, Dave's on that trajectory, man. It's dangerous. You got to watch out. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get to the games of the week. We start off with tonight's game, Washington against Philly in Philly. We actually do have, I guess it qualifies as Flyers, but we do have a split on this game in that two people took Washington. It was Kevin and Dan, and the rest of us went with Philly. Philly seems like the pick you should make, but I'm not going to lie to you. Jaden Daniels and Washington, this game could go either way. Dan, tell us why you went the Jaden Daniels route there and picked Washington.
Oh, I like the Commanders' color scheme a lot better than the Eagles. That's why. Yeah.
Solid way to
So,
pick.
Fair
where are
enough,
we
yeah.
at here? Where are we at here with the Eagles? Yeah, so they are, in my opinion, they're a good team. I don't think they're as good as their 7-2 record would make you think. So I just am not wild about the Eagles this year, even though, like I said, they got a 7-2 record. Commanders are doing outstanding. They took a little bit of a stumble last week, or else they'd be 8-2 right now. But two teams that are on top of the NFC East that will be a good division matchup. Could go either way. I know the Eagles have the home field advantage in this one, but I like the Commanders' higher powered offense in this one.
All right, fair enough. And Dave, you went with the Eagles because Jalen
Saquon,
Hurts?
man.
Saquon. Okay, yeah, no, I love it.
Yeah.
I
Man, he's having a hell of a season. I think he's gonna keep going, and it was a tough pick for sure because it could go either way, honestly. And then Philly having home field advantage, that's really the only two reasons I went with Philly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I should pick the Eagles for every game, considering Saquon's blind, like facing the opposite end, jump over defenders, like just
Triple
insane.
flip, back axle, three. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah. I can't remember if he won the honor roll last week but he was definitely one of the nominees. So next game is the old Colts going against the Jets, the Aaron Rodgers firing people, drafting people, whatever, recruiting people, the Jets. Dan,
coach.
That's another
Aaron
one.
Rodgers.
Yeah.
Hey,
GM.
great pick there, Dave.
Yeah, Dave and Dan. So
Oh, look at that! Yeah.
what's up
Smart
with this?
man.
What's up with this? Why the Jets? Why are they going to be able to win this week?
Well, Richardson's gone, right? He's out. He's done.
He's back in this week.
So that's for me. That's exactly why. Just inconsistency at quarterback. They don't know who they're going to start one week to the next. So is it Richardson or is it Flacco? You got to have a leader out there.
Okay, I took it more as they were trying to scare Richardson. I don't know. That's what I'm going to say. So whatever.
I need wins, and so picking the Jets, hoping they pull it out and squeak one by everybody else is really my pick.
That's your strategy. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Just start swinging for the fences, man.
Yeah,
See
I gotta
what
get some of
happens.
these. I gotta get some of these flyer clean Kevins going my way.
Yeah, something. So, all right, Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Although it looks like
bold
it should
pick.
be an easy Baltimore win, is it that simple? We've got the Sportnik pick there of the Russell Wilson-led Steelers. Kevin, defend yourself. What the heck, dude? What are you doing? We got Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson and Isaiah Likely and all these dudes over in Baltimore, and I don't
And
know.
then you got
man.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I will admit Russ has been
He's cooking.
he's cooking. Yeah,
He's cooking.
as far as Russ goes, he's cooking. He hasn't been talking about doing any high knees on the plane, so that's good.
Kevin's daughter made his picks this week.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So he's the third to use the guest picker protocol. That's right. I forgot about that. That's right. Okay. Cool. So,
Dude, but hey, the crappy thing about this is it's right with his flyer queens. He could totally pull it off.
oh yeah, that one might that one might work out. But anyway, whatever. So we all went with Minnesota. I think Tennessee. I think they've gone to Mason Rudolph at this point, haven't they? Have they benched Will Levis permanently until further notice? Or Dan, do you know what's going on out there?
No idea, but it doesn't matter. Levis, Rudolph.
Yeah. Well,
They got rid of their biggest weapon earlier on in the season, and they're going up against the Vikings, who admittedly have struggled the last 3 or 4 weeks, but I think everybody on board with this one. Not that we all haven't been wrong together in the past season multiple times, but I think the Vikings are able to handle the Titans in this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we all think it. I mean, we're all on them. So let's talk about one that's got a split, though. We've got
there it is. Yeah.
Dave, as far as between us three. Dan and I went with the Saints. Dave went with that other team, the Browns. There we go.
The Browns.
Anyway, this is as close as we can get to an even split. So we split this one, as we say. The lean in this case would go the way of the Saints. But Dave, why'd you pick the Browns?
Dude, they just got to get one. This is probably the worst game this week. Like, nobody wants to watch this game. They're both terrible. And I don't know. I just something said go with the Browns. Probably another one of those try and pick one and squeak one out when, I figured everybody was going to go with the Saints. But I'm glad to see a couple followed me there. And
well, you're with some good company there, though, because you got the old orange check mark, which is the Sierra check mark.
Not a bad check mark.
Yeah. And the Agman, which is the other one who's on the podium. So not a bad couple of check marks to be next to. However, Dan, you are right next to me. And I am number 2.
Right.
So you're welcome.
It's a good place for you to be, I guess.
Yeah.
So, and this one, so Derek Carr is back. Last week he was back, but doing well. So the Saints don't have to rely on old Spencer Rattler anymore. And I know the big question mark for the Saints was the receiving core. So as we saw with the on roll nominee this week with Valdez-Scantling, they're doing all right at receiver, and they're distributing the ball around pretty well. I think they had 5 or 6 receivers with multiple receptions in that game. So maybe taking away some of the bigger threats is allowing them to spread the ball around a little bit more there. So anyways, I got the Saints in this one.
Fair enough. I like it. That's the exact reason I'm going with Saints too. How about that?
Well, it's because you told me that earlier.
Yes.
So
yes, exactly. By the way, does anybody know who Squid is? Squid, welcome in the comment.
That's my buddy Spaps.
Yeah? Is he calling me mailman for the hat? Is that what's going on?
No, they call me mailman.
Really?
So he was my training coordinator.
N-A-L-E, man?
No,
it's
no.
Sledgehammer, so it's his son.
Oh,
it's his son. So his dad was my training coordinator for the railroad in Spokane, and found out we both played hockey, and we just hit it off good. And then I think Thor Malin, and they just somehow turned it into mailman. I don't know. How did you guys come up with that there, Nolan?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome, dude. It's good to have you.
Hey, hit sign me up there in the comments there, Squid, and you enter to win a jersey, bud.
How old is old Sledgehammer? How old
13?
are you, dude? What size you wear? What size?
Big.
I need to know what size he wears.
He's a big kid.
He's a big kid. All right. Fair enough.
Extra large.
All right.
I don't know.
So moving on. Let's move on. Do the Jags have any chance against the?
No.
In Ford Field, I mean, I can't even articulate. Like, there's no way they should win that game, right?
Not gonna happen.
It's not gonna work here anymore. Detroit, there you go. That's where this game is at. Detroit, Ford Field, Lions. Now I'm with it. Anyway. Hi.
Yeah, a Mac Jones-led Jaguars team going up against the Lions.
Trevor T-Law is out right now. Yeah.
Detroit not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Smart picks by everybody.
Yeah.
Lions by at least 2 scores.
Okay, fair enough. And then we all went with Green Bay. Now, Dave, I know you had to pick the lesser of 2 evils here because they're both in your division, right? The Bears. Yeah. So you hate both of these teams, but you went with Green Bay because I guess that's who you probably actually think's going to win.
I need points. Yeah.
So awesome. Okay, so there you go. And we all went with Miami. Now, who's quarterbacking for the Raiders these days? Who's their QB? I know it was Gardner there for a while, but isn't it somebody else? Are they on to Aiden whatever or whatever. Who cares? They're
Great
not
question.
they're not going to win, and hopefully Tua avoids a concussion. So that's all we need. Kevin flying again out there with the Patriots. I would ask him to justify himself, but apparently he didn't make that pick either. But last week, his flyer with the Patriots worked out. How did the Patriots actually win last week? And could they actually win again this week? Either of you guys think they could actually win again this week?
I would like to say no, but I mean, look what the Chargers did last week. So I don't know. Or no, the Rams, I mean.
Yeah, it really is any given Sunday. Like, I mean, any game could go any way. You have a general idea of the way it should go according to the way things have gone, but who knows, right? I mean,
which is crazy because this year I think is way different than last year. Like last year it was just like you said, like you knew pretty much who was going to win already at this point in the season. This year you're like, oh, they're going to win, and then next thing they turn around and lose. You're like, what? Yeah. So I think this year is way different than last year.
It is. It definitely is. Let's move on to the next game because who cares about those two teams?
Right.
But Atlanta and Dan, your, I guess, team, the Denver Broncos. Yeah, by your team-in-law. There you go. That's what I was looking for.
Team-in-law. There it is. I like it.
Team-in-law. So the Thor Malins then, for my
we got
in-laws.
our first legit entry.
So, well, nice. I love it. All right. The Thermalin family, to include Andrew, who I know is not a Thermalin, but you get it. So Dave, Wally, and the Agman went the way of the Falcons. And I got to admit, I want to go that way. And the way I decided on this game is I went out and looked at what some other people thought. Like I went out and looked at some other predictions, and there were more predictions for Denver than there were for Atlanta, or at least that's what I found. So that's the only reason I picked Denver. Now, I'm glad I'm in good company there with the old orange check mark, as I've said before and will always say. That's a good,
well, yeah, it's Denver.
It's nice to be, but, well, yeah,
you're never not going to see that check mark.
I don't know. She's picked against them.
She's picked against them several times. Yeah. Honestly, there's been a lot of flyers she's taken when she's picked Tennessee, so I think she's a closet Titans fan.
Yeah, right? Maybe.
She has picked them a few times.
Maybe. So, Dan, what made you go with Denver, or is it because your wife won't talk to you if you didn't pick them?
Yeah, and that's exactly why I picked against the Raiders as well. But Bo Nix coming off of a Rookie of the Week award for the whole NFL, so doing really well. I think Denver has been pretty consistent this year, so which they're a slightly above middle of the pack team in my opinion. The Falcons have started, in my opinion, pretty strong, and then they've kind of tapered off a little bit. So Denver's got the home field. I like Denver in this game. So but mainly because my wife told me to.
Okay, fair enough. Dave,
and the truth comes out.
Dave, is there a reason you went with Atlanta? Is it because of Kirk Cousins there, your former quarterback in Minnesota?
No, not really. This was actually another one, kind of like you. I checked it out, and there was quite a few for Denver, but I don't know, for some reason, something told me Atlanta.
Okay.
And yeah,
fair enough.
No real reasoning.
Fair enough. Hey, whatever. It's not a bad pick. It's not. This game could go either way. San Francisco and Seattle, we all picked San Francisco. It should go that way. The next game, though, Kansas City, Buffalo. This is, do we have the makings of another classic here, or is it going to be a dud? Who knows? I wish that was actually the Sunday night game. Now, I say that with my team being the team that got flexed into the Sunday night game, because they weren't originally on the Sunday night game, I don't think.
Yeah, nobody's going to watch that game.
But, well, I will. But Kansas City, Buffalo, we split on this one. Dave and Dan, you're up there with Sierra, with Kansas City. Your dad's up there as well, Dave. And then myself, the Agman, and old Kev Boat, or Kev Boat's daughter in this case, are with the Buffalo Bills. So I just, to be honest, I'm like, Kansas City, they're not, like we talked about earlier with the whole comparison of the two teams, Tom Brady at this point and Patrick Mahomes at this point. They don't strike me as the team that's going to go undefeated. When the Patriots went undefeated for the regular season, unfortunately, they didn't win the Super Bowl that year. It was obvious. It was obvious. I mean, how many touchdowns did Tom Brady have? 38 after 10 games?
38, yeah.
Like 3.8 per game if they played 10 at that. So, I mean, anyway, I just, at some point, I know Kansas City's got to lose. And in Buffalo against the Buffalo Bills, why not? You know, if there's a time that I've got to pick against them because I know eventually they're going to lose, this is the game. So
this is the week for sure.
Yeah, that's how I arrived at my pick. I mean, are you guys just going with the obvious? It's an undefeated 2-time Super Bowl champion team, you know? I mean, do you have to have any other justification? And Taylor Swift. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Well, there you go. So
That's why I.
Dang it!
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Should have waited until they broke up.
You know this. The Buffalo Bills pickers really have a great chance to pull one over here because after the way Kansas City played last week, I was kind of hesitant to pick them. But I still stuck with them. Hopefully, it would be cool to see a team go undefeated and win the Super Bowl because has any team ever besides the Dolphins?
72 Dolphins. That's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it would be cool, especially in our lifetime, to be able to witness it. So that's kind of another reason why I'm like, yeah, let's stay on this bandwagon. But if they're going to lose, it's going to be this week.
Okay, fair enough. Dan, you think if they're going to lose, it's going to be this week or what?
I don't know about that, but I mean, definitely a tough challenge this week. But defending Super Bowl champs, currently 9-0, you can't go against them. You have to prove that you can beat the Chiefs before you start picking against them.
All right, stop talking.
Yeah, they're not putting up
stop talking. You're making me feel bad about my pick. You're making me feel bad about my pick.
What kind of idiot?
I'm gonna change this graphic when I send it out to the group text. Might be a little different. No, anyway, all right. Bengals, Chargers, Sunday Night Football. I'm such a pessimist.
Yellow and an orange down there.
I'm such it's yellow and pink.
Pink.
So yeah, I based this one off of the Bengals performance and the fact that I still just, until Jim Harbaugh wins the Super Bowl with the Chargers, I'm not going to have faith in him. So, I want to pick the Chargers, but I also don't want to lose at this game, this little pick'em game that we're doing. So I honestly think that the Bengals are going to pull it out. But Dave, you went with the Chargers along with Kev's daughter. Is there a reason you went with the Chargers, or are you
just another pick? I mean, I feel like the Bengals have played some good games that they've lost this year, especially like stats wise and all that. And I don't know what they don't have to pull it out completely, but I feel kind of like it's going to be another one of those games where their stat-wise might be great, but they just can't quite squeak out the win. And again, I need a flyer to move up here, so I figure this might be another good game with the unfortunate luck that the Bengals have this season.
Well,
that's right. I mean, they have lost a lot of close games, and the Chargers, as much as Josh likes to bash on his own team, Josh, your team is 6-3 right now.
I know, but I don't want to get excited.
It's like the first winning season in 10 years. He's like, "Oh, the Chargers suck."
You remember
Josh
Jim Dandon?
Like
you remember Jim Dandon, the Seattle Seahawks fan? Like the Seattle Seahawks were within 5 seconds of winning the Super Bowl. Dan and I are texting this guy. We're like, "They're gonna win the Super Bowl," and he's like, "It's not over. It's not over." Yeah. But and then the next year or whatever year it was, a couple of years later or the next year, whatever it was, then they did lose the Super Bowl to the Patriots. But But the year before they won against Denver, and but we have a friend who's a diehard Seattle. In fact, he lives in Oklahoma, but still has season tickets to Seattle Seahawks games. So he's that big of a fan. Yeah. But anyway, he's got a Super Bowl now. Chargers still don't. Anyway. So until they win the Super Bowl, I won't believe in the Chargers. They got to the Super Bowl once.
So close in the mid-'90s, lost to the Niners in 95, right?
95, 96. I can't remember 95. If 95 season, then in 96 was the Super Bowl. Whatever. You get it. But and then Monday Night Football, we all went with well, Dan, do you
Cowboys suck?
Yeah. And did you look at the sun forecast or anything?
Yeah.
Before
so I looked at my sundial and I looked at the cloud cover forecast and realized that the Cowboys are gonna lay an egg. They're gonna get the little sun in their eyes and not be able to catch balls. So
they even gonna be able to throw a ball? I mean, who's passing to CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Doesn't matter.
Cooper Rush. Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. But yeah, this should be an easy one. But Dan, do you see, I know you picked the Bengals with me on that last game. I don't think I even asked you. You got any thoughts? I mean, is this an easy win for the Bengals? I don't think it is, but
no, but so it's the same. The concern I have with the Bengals is why I have confidence in the Chiefs is that good teams find a way to win close games. For some reason this season, the Bengals have found a way to lose close games. So I have a feeling going into the fourth quarter, if it's a one-score game, the Bengals are going to find a way to bungle up the game and let the Chargers eke out a victory. But we're looking at the stats earlier, Brady versus Mahomes. But when I look at Burrow's stats for this year, he's at nearly 2,700 yards. 24 touchdowns versus only 4 interceptions. So he's at a 6-to-1 ratio of touchdowns to interceptions. Doing outstanding. I think I can't remember if Burrow missed a game or two, but either way, even if he didn't, he's putting up great numbers. And obviously Jamar Chase is having an awesome year. So again, they're just finding, I would say, unique ways to win or to lose close games there. Yeah. So that's why I don't know. Like I think they got the talent, they got the scheme, they got the whole package there. It just hasn't find a way to, like I said, lose those close games. So I'm nervous about the Bengals this year. And again, back to the Chargers. They got a good squad. I know you're hard on them, but 6-3 is
it's not bad.
They're doing pretty good. So.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
We're bowl eligible.
The line on there you go. The line on this game is Chargers by 1.5 right now. Hey. So.
By the way, Kevin had some good points here. But two things. Number one, the Eagles just missed a field goal. So Dan, you're looking good.
Laces out, Dan. Yeah. Laces out, Dan.
and then Kevin kindly points out to me the sun forecast for a night game.
Only in Dallas.
Yes, Kevin. Yes. Anyway,
come on now.
Anyway, and there you go. We got 4 teams on a bye. Baker Mayfield won't be playing. So, Dan, you do not have to worry about Baker Mayfield and you having to put up a fight against why he shouldn't be on a roll.
Dude, let's find a Baker Mayfield autographed photo and send it to Dan. We got to get Baker to personalize it. To my best #1 fan, Dan.
Boomer.
Do that and see the photos that I take with that and send back.
Wow, and now we brought it full circle right back to Dave before the show. Sorry. Anyway, that's an inside joke for us. Anyway, okay, so there you go, folks. That's it. Let's talk about it. Let's see who you all chose as the honor roll champ for this week. And what the heck? There's no point in delaying. Lamar Jackson wins it. 25 of 33, 290 yards, 4 tutties, 141.4 rating. So Lamar Jackson, you sir are on a roll. So I think he probably gets it because of the win, because Joe Burrow definitely had the stat line.
Sure.
But Lamar Jackson is the winner as voted by the peeps out there. So I don't know. Who'd you vote for, Dave? You obviously didn't vote for Lamar. You go for Joe? Who'd you go for?
I don't even remember. I think I went for the Saints guy, dude, because he hasn't been on yet.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Dan, you willing to say who you voted for?
Baker Mayfield.
How many? How many times a year does a receiver get over 200 yards receiving? Not very often. So for me, it was Jamar Chase.
Yeah, it was close. I'll say that.
I might have
really
went Jamar
close.
Chase.
It was really close. So, anyway, there you go, folks. And how do you vote on these things? Well, here you go. Here's the links to it all. This is our socials page. Simple enough. Here's what you need to do. Just take a screenshot of this right here and then go back to it in your photos. And whichever site you want to go to, just hold your thumb on that QR code and it'll pop up and it'll say you want to go to this site, go to that one. So obviously the YouTube page there, TikTok, the Instagram, that's all the main Duct Tape Dynasty pages. Andrew Agman, who you've seen on here many a time, is he's our pollster. Although I've been running a lot of polls as well lately. So, but that's his link. And then Sportnix, who you've seen in the comments. These little caricatures, like you see right down, well, let's see, right there, that one, that's what he does. Those are called Sportnix. He actually draws those and he can personalize them, actually draw your kid, in their sports uniform, all that stuff. He's got anyway, go to his site and check it out. There's a bunch of cool stuff out there. You can see what he does. Lots of good stuff. Anyway, that's it for it. So anything, gents, we need to talk about or say before we get the heck out of here?
We got any 2XL sweaters in the giveaway?
I don't think we do, dude. I don't think we have any 2XLs.
Squid. We'll get you some stickers and stuff, and we'll work on getting some bigger sizes.
Let me look. I'll look. I don't think we do. Dang. But maybe. Who knows? Maybe. So, all right, dude. With that, Dan, anything out of you before we get the heck out of here?
No, just go Commanders tonight.
Fair enough. Well, we're already on the right side. So, hey, guys, we love y'all. Y'all are the absolute best. Thanks for joining us. And come back next week. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get the heck out of here. See ya.
See ya.